Phoenix for the last 12 years.
And we just want to talk about the journey we've had with the youth workers at the Phoenix Detached Youth Project.
Where did you meet the detached youth workers?
I first met the Phoenix on a field outside of school. We ran away at first because we weren't sure who they were, but then we realised that they were the local youth project. So that's when we started getting involved with them.
I first met Mike and Kerry at the gate. That was my first run-in with the project.
I first met the Phoenix on a Friday night down Linear Park. And I think that's when most people would have met.
Yeah, I think
From
that's
this
when we've all
group,
chipped in a bit.
And what would you say to other young people about the Phoenix and transition from young people to adults?
I don't think there was much difference. I don't think it feels any different from being a young person than it does an adult.
Yeah, like being involved with the Phoenix, I think you feel young again. Like being on this residential now.
Because of the kind of group that we've got, we feel, even though we don't get to see each other a lot, when we do see each other, it's like we've never been away from each other, and we can be silly and
it's nice, obviously, that you know it from obviously
being 12,
children
13
to adults.
Yeah.
Like, so it's been like a journey.
But what made you stay involved with the Phoenix once you left school?
Becoming with us,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
And use help with the kids. I think that we've got a good relationship with yous as well.
Yeah, I think it's
so that hasn't really changed from being kids to being adults. So I think that's helped.
It feels comfortable, yeah. Like it's like a home from home, isn't
We
it?
trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a home from home.
We trust and respect you.
What would you say to young people who are a bit hesitant and don't want to get involved?
We were a bit hesitant at first, weren't we? I was a bit unsure.
I would just say, like, what else are you going to be doing?
Yeah, but like the more
probably won't be doing anything else.
the more I done things with you, then the more I wanted. Obviously,
I think as well, because with youth projects, this isn't sounding like mean, but you think it's kids with bad behaviours, bad backgrounds, and like drug problems, or people that need help and support. Like you say, you do the food banks and stuff. Where we're not that sort of group, so we. At first, I was like, I don't really want to be known like that, but it's completely different.
Yeah, because you help all types of people.
Yeah,
it's all like different.
Yeah, it's open to anyone.
Like, for us, it was about socialising mostly, like being able to socialise with friends, going places, going on residentials.
Keep them off the streets, really.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if we weren't doing this, we probably would have just been.
Going places as a group, because everyone could go. Wouldn't be like, say, if we just organised it ourselves. Like one of us might have not been able to get the money when we're younger.
And we've had the opportunity to do like a lot of things that we wouldn't normally do if we hadn't met you.
Yeah.
What sort of things?
Residentials, we've been to theme parks, quad biking, canoeing,
Abseiling,
Caving,
spa breaks,
camping,
and many
taking
more.
the kids away, go-karting, taking the kids away as groups as well. That's like would have been a big.
The list is endless.
And obviously you've done things on issues, haven't you? We did a funny thing, remember at Kielder where we did the thing looking at why young people take risks?
Yeah.
Don't take risks.
Don't take risks, because this is what will happen.
That one.
So, tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, so is that when we did the risk taking?
Yeah, about young people taking risks.
In activities, so then we could compare it to how it would be like in real life situations.
Remember the cup game? When we had to pass it on? We've done that with Becky.
Oh, about the STIs?
And the STIs, and then obviously it was at a party and we all had to mix the drinks, and because it was about the risk that you wouldn't actually have known who had it first. That was good.
And the beer goggles, I liked wearing them.
So it's about going out and getting drunk with your friends and not knowing the risks. Then what happens is one girl gets too drunk and she ends up going off with a boy she doesn't know, and she finds out that she's pregnant a couple of days later or weeks. And then, yeah, that's basically it. Because kids just think when they're going to have a drink that they're just going to get drunk and have a good time and whatnot. They don't realise that they're going to end up losing, like...
I would want to say your life, but obviously it's not like the end of the world. But obviously, like, you don't get to live your life as much, do you?
What is it about the Phoenix that works for young people then?
I think these are approachable people, so no one feels like shy to go in.
Yeah, the relationships that you build, like, there needs to be trust and stuff there, otherwise no one's going to come in. Like, if we didn't feel comfortable coming to the Phoenix with the problems that we have, or anyone has, then you wouldn't get people in if they didn't feel comfortable to come and speak to you.
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel like you don't judge anyone, so they could tell you anything.
Yeah, you're very open-minded.
And you'd never have anything judgmental to say back to it all.
And you like genuinely care. If someone's got a problem or an issue, you really want to help that person. It's
Not just in it for the money.
Yeah, it's not. It's not like you're just in it for a job. It's like that is your role.
Nature,
and that's
like,
what
as people.
I think as well, like some people probably go to use with problems that they can't go to like the parents with as well, especially from the ages 12, 13, 14 and
Definitely,
15 if they've been up to stuff, or they do need a conversation with an adult. Use are there to talk to and give them the right advice that they need if they can't approach the parents, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And do you think it's good that we've challenged you over the years on things that you think we're doing wrong?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't even say that you've challenged her, you've just kind of educated her.
Yeah, like you've never been, like you've just put her in the right direction. What we shouldn't be doing, not like made it bad, like if I've done wrong in the past.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like 12, like, and I like parents that have brought it up, but it's like I'm
Even like the
26
age of
now, it's like
18,
what
I think
are
I
we
still
what are
look at
today? Through like with family and friends, and like obviously youth have been a big part of that as well.
Yeah.
I agree.
Definitely.
Yeah.
When we've had like struggles, whenever I've had a struggle, I would come to you.
Yeah.
What are your favourite memories with the Phoenix?
Because there are literally loads.
So many.
I like has to be the day.
Mine was when Mike slipped
Yeah,
under the bus as well. I love that.
Oh yeah,
The bus
slipped
was
under the bus, I
funny.
remember, on the ice.
What else was just
Every
happening?
residential, I think, it's just been so funny. Like when we go
Something's
away,
happened every time,
we
like
Yeah.
laugh
funny.
all the time. from,
Literally
like,
before we
start to
come away
finish.
this weekend, I was saying I can't wait just to laugh. That's not what I know what to do. I'm just gonna laugh. But that's what I think about when I think when we're going away. I just think of the laughing.
Just all our stupid stuff as well. Some of it's not even funny. We're just still
And
laughing.
that's
Like
not
her,
just been
yeah.
like us as a group, it's been with you as well.
I think you
yeah.
are funny. Like,
Actually, I
So
think
tell
it's
us about the egg in the
funny.
kettle.
the egg in the kettle. What I'd say houses and. I just think the things we could do in me and Katie for what it would be funny if we put a full egg in the kettle. So obviously the more yous were boiling in, the more it was going hard boiling, stinking of egg. So eventually the full house stunk of egg. I'm sure you were like, this house stinks. And me and Katie were proper. But then we did eventually have to take it out because it did start, like, eventually the shell was cracking.
So why do residentials work with young people? Because people often say to us as funders, why should we pay for residentials? What's special about them then for between you and the youth worker?
You need time out, like this Phoenix, it's not big enough, like to go and sit there, you couldn't sit there for a full day and night. And the times, like being away for weekends is so
it's
much
just-
better, like one-to-one, like
You usually have no signal, so you can't really be distracted on your phone.
It's just the experience of just being somewhere different, isn't it? Because there's nowhere
Yeah.
around
It's
where
like
we,
more
where,
intense.
yeah, where would we ever, where would ever go to do something like this, like in our area, like,
Yeah.
no one would never ever get to do the chance, anything, like the things we do, like we couldn't do that around our area and would never get the chance if it wasn't for you. Like,
Because they don't really have like
it's
the
just,
facilities or the money.
there's just nothing there, it's like,
We
I
couldn't
wanna
afford to
swear,
do it
but-
ourselves.
it's not the nicest of places, is it? Like, so.
even sitting in the Phoenix, someone comes in and erupts, or you just
Well,
need to
obviously
be out.
it's,
and
it's like a revolving door in
yeah.
the Phoenix, isn't it? There's that many people come in and out the door that obviously
Yeah, I think people
nice
have
to
different
have.
backgrounds as well. So some people that you do have in your groups. Let's see your face. And some people in the groups that obviously don't have like a lot of friends and stuff like that, and it gives them opportunities that they've probably never experienced, and they'll never be able to experience because like you've got people in your groups that are in care homes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then he's like giving them friendships within the groups, and he's like giving them opportunities that they'll never get to do.
Just the ways you've seen Phoenix help other young people aged 12 to 25. Give some examples of how we help people.
You help people find jobs. So a lot of people might not have a computer and make their own CV or know how to make one, so you'll help them do that. And then you could put them in touch with the right people to find a job, and even help them like with job interviews and stuff.
And funding for like something they would need for that job. So like if they needed a license or something, you could help funding with that. or if they needed like the kit, tools, help with that. I've heard of you helping people with the houses, like if they've just moved into somewhere and say they don't have much money or they don't have like anything or any family, you help them maybe carpet the place or get like appliances that they need that are important, like cookers, gas and electric.
I know you've helped people with the food banks and stuff, especially with this universal credit, 'cause that's been quite a big hit on the state that we live on. Not me personally, but yeah.
People with health issues, if they've got like if they feel like they've got something, maybe it's like physically, mental health, they'll come and talk to you and you will help them.
Send them in the right direction, see the right people.
Be their support.
Or just listen to them.
Sometimes that's all you need as well, just someone to listen to. And we're usually there all the time to be that, yeah, listen.
People who don't have friends who come and then form friendship groups at the Phoenix and then they're their friends. Like we're lucky we were already friends and this has made us quite like stronger.
Yeah.
But there's some people that actually go to the Phoenix and make friends there because they don't necessarily have any to go out and do things
It's
with.
like a second family, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you witnessed us working with people at the Phoenix who have suffered from other people?
So people who have suffered from domestic abuse, you've like worked with them, like support groups and stuff. I think you've done.
People who have suffered from like crime, that have been involved with like criminal offences. You've helped both people who have done the criminal offences and people who have been suffered from it, been victims of it.
So do you think, as youth workers, is it important for the youth workers to take risks then
100%.
in helping people?
Yeah, 100%.
Sometimes it's difficult for them, but they should still do it.
I think youth workers are the biggest support out there.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I do.
Like there's some criminals that people will be like, why would you give them your time after what they've done? But no one knows underlying issues of these people and you actually would help them and see the good in them, not that they've done bad necessarily.
Yeah, you get
What
them
you would
somebody-
say-
Is that because we probably got to know them at 12?
Yeah, that you probably knew them better than what anyone else knows them, like the...
you've just give them the time to do that. People wouldn't, like, obviously if I knew someone was a criminal doing something wrong, I'd just like that would be my first initial thought. But obviously with you, it's like a bigger picture, isn't it?
Or giving people a second chance.
Yeah.
We've known you from like children, so obviously when we've met you, we've been like childish and whatnot, and we've seen everything that you can do, and we've grew and like obviously adults become more mature and wiser, and like we've grew with you, so we've seen everything that you can do. I just think youth workers are massively important.
What would you say, obviously, because money's an issue and you can't have a youth project without funders, business people and whatever, what sort of message would you say to them?
I love that funders do actually think about this kind of charity, because normally if you've got a lot of money you would think, oh, I'm going to help like the bigger charities, which tend to be like cancer and like people with disabilities and children and whatnot, and like I think your kind of charities get forgotten, but it's so important that they're not forgotten, because like things like this come out of it, like everything we just mentioned, which is like so important for the community.
And you don't just help one specific group. There's like loads of different groups that are involved in it.
Yeah, like a different range of people who like different things and wanna. Don't know, like I think it's just really important. Like, it means a lot. Like I think it means a lot to all of us. Like
especially
without
some
that
kids
money, like
that don't, like I said before, don't have a good background, that in care homes and stuff like that, or just the parents don't have a lot of money, going to use on day trips or anything like that, that's their escape, if that makes sense. That's their happy place. You're giving something happy to you give them something like for them to be happy about, look forward to, excite them. Some like,
because there's no charity to help them.
Yeah,
there's no charity for anything like that. So it's like,
so you're giving teenagers, 12-year-olds, 13, 14, you're giving them memories where they might not be able to have anything like that with the situation that they're in. As a group, like, you know, like to get that many kids away at once and give them an opportunity like that, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Like the chances of going canoeing and kayaking and stuff
Exactly.
like that as a family, would you really like?
Yeah.
And you give us the chance to do that, because like families would do something
Which just cost
different.
which just cost a fortune. Like how would you be able to pay for that? Like even if you're just taking your kids to soccer, it's like well over a tenner by the time you pay for them to get in. Obviously they'll want food and stuff. Like it just costs a fortune for like an hour or something. So obviously it just helps people to have a better life.
So really, the funders
Help
are
people
crucial.
Help,
Yeah.
well, it helps people enjoy life a bit more, doesn't
Without
it?
them funders, they wouldn't be using that.
Yeah. But without the money, like it's got limits on. Like it's got to stop at 25 because of funding.
Yeah, because I would just love to, I would love to carry on from now.
Like there's people at
I know,
25 and over that
yeah.
still need a lot of help and wouldn't be able to come to you anymore. Like that's sad. If I needed or any of us needed help now, like we wouldn't want to go
I
somewhere
wouldn't
else
go
and
to
build a
the-
relationship. You
I
wouldn't know
actually
these
would
people.
not talk to her different now.
Like we know you on a
Okay.
personal level where it's like if I was suffering I did need some sort of support, I would come to yous, even at the age I am, and try and get some support. Because yous know my past, yous know what right track I would need to go down because of the past that I've had myself. Like I'm not going to tell someone that I don't know everything about my life, which they don't need to know. It's got nothing to do with them, where yous have helped us through it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
basically are a bit like family.
Yeah. Second man.
I'm getting a bit choked.
Getting emotional. I think we just need to say a massive thank you for the experience and opportunities he's have given her.
Yeah, me too.
So, if you could contribute and put something back into the Phoenix, now that you're due to leave, what would it look like?
I think it would be so funny if we took a group of kids on a residential.
I would love that.
Oh, like as peer, like mentors.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like as ambassadors.
That would be so good. Or if I would even come on the streets with you to meet people when I had childcare. But I would actually like to do that. Like, I would actually do that with you.
Because of the way yous have treated me, I would love to go down. What way am I looking for?
I think
The work life of what yous do.
Like the same route.
Like
Role
same route.
models.
Yeah, yous have
you
role
would like to
models.
be a youth worker.
Yeah, I would love to be a youth worker. And yous have inspired us.
Okay.
So, like a pool of volunteers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
But like,
Yeah, like even getting my family into it, when I was telling them, like, I had to literally like tell them everything good that we've done to get them in.
So you've now got your cousin
So now,
involved, haven't you?
now they're involved with it because they've seen how like what we've done.
Yeah.
Like so that's what they look at. I
Yeah,
think what people have
people have
done, then
done.
why they would join, not listen to, because they just probably think that you're going to try and promote you because you want people in. Whereas if they listen to people who've been there, done it, not just for a year, like 13 years, and then they've joined straight away because they want to do
So
the
there must be
same.
something there if you've joined it for 13 years
Yeah.
rather than just doing a one-off
yeah,
trip.
like
Yes,
Like,
right,
It's
okay.
a long time.
It's so
Often,
special
like,
that
my-
we've been there for 13 years.
my niece, like she used to like the meadows, obviously because of age, and obviously like well soon she's 10 this year, so she'll have like 2 years left with them.
Yeah.
So I was like, because she really loves that, so I was like, oh.
I'm just keen to, carry on, sorry.
No, so I was listening to like my niece is like with the meadows, obviously she's only 10 this year, so she had like 2 years left with them, but she absolutely loves that. So obviously I was saying to her because obviously soon she'll not be old enough to go there, so I was saying obviously the next thing for you would be going with the Phoenix. So I was telling her stuff what I do, and obviously she's young, so she looked excited. Then obviously, then just for them to know who caught the meadows, maybe that obviously there's a place where they can move on to bigger and better things.
It's only 3.5 years till Cruise is going to come.
So is it worth us exploring how
And I think go, like, at the
that could
schools
work?
and something like that. I think people like us will probably be like, as Nicole said, like when we were their age, we like ran because we weren't that approachable. But I think with the age that we are, probably more approachable 30 and 14-year-olds than you are. Not like I don't
No
know how to
offence
word
taken.
that. I don't know how to word, but you know what I mean.
yeah.
And although you are cool people, deep down, you didn't come across as it.
No.
Grandpa
No.
Burgess,
So
No,
if
no.
you have
you don't
us
look that cool.
kind of people with
I
you,
don't remember how I first met them.
They've got a higher chance.
That'd be brilliant, yeah.
Well done, guys.